All right, let's dig into something that's, well, it's complicated, and it's a connection that's often hidden in plain sight. We're talking about drinking alcohol and feeling anxious, and how they get tangled up in this vicious cycle that can be incredibly tough to escape. I mean, think about it for a second. You've had a crazy long day, or maybe you're walking into a party where you don't know anyone. Reaching for a drink to just take the edge off. It feels like a pretty normal solution, right? If you've ever done that, you are definitely not alone. And you know what? In the moment, it usually works. That first drink can quiet the anxiety, it can lower your inhibitions, and suddenly you feel way more sociable. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. As you keep drinking, those nice feelings can completely flip. Suddenly you're dealing with extreme mood swings, maybe some aggression, or just a total lack of coordination. The very thing you used to feel better can end up making everything so much worse. And that leads us right to the heart of the problem. This relationship goes both ways. It is a classic chicken and egg situation. So does the anxiety lead to the drinking, or does the drinking cause the anxiety? Well, the tough answer is it's both. They just keep feeding each other. And the sheer scale of this overlap is kind of staggering. A 2019 article found that up to half, that's 50%, of people who are getting treatment for alcohol use disorder also have diagnosable anxiety disorder. So this isn't some rare coincidence. It's a massive, tangled-up public health issue. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, let's quickly define what we're talking about here. Alcohol use disorder, or AUD, isn't just about drinking a lot. It's a chronic condition where you really can't stop or control your drinking, even when it's very clearly causing serious problems in your job, your relationships, or your health. Okay, so here's one direction of that cycle. Imagine someone is really struggling with anxiety. They might turn to alcohol as a kind of coping mechanism, right? A way to self-medicate and just numb those feelings of worry and panic. But what starts as one drink to calm down can really easily turn into more and more, and that's how a dependence gets started. And then, of course, the cycle runs in the exact opposite direction, too. Heavy alcohol use can literally change your brain chemistry. It can actually trigger an anxiety disorder in someone who never had one before, or it can take an existing one and make it way more severe. Now, this link isn't quite the same for every type of anxiety. The research shows the strongest connections are with three specific kinds. You've got generalized anxiety disorder, that's that constant, excessive worry about everything. Then there's social anxiety, which is that intense fear of being judged in social situations. And finally, panic disorder, which involves those sudden, terrifying panic attacks. So just understanding this cycle is a huge first step. But now let's talk about how to actually break it, because that's what really matters. It all starts with being able to recognize the signs and just knowing that there is a path forward. Okay, this is a really crucial piece of the puzzle: alcohol withdrawal. See, as those calming effects of alcohol start to wear off, your body can go into overdrive. You might get a racing heart, feel sick, get the shakes, which, if you think about it, sounds almost identical to an anxiety attack. This awful rebound effect is sometimes called hangxiety, and it's what keeps the cycle going. It makes you crave another drink just to stop the terrible feelings that the last drink caused. To try and tell these things apart, it really helps to know the specific signs. So for an anxiety disorder, you're looking for things like a constant feeling of being nervous or on edge, that sense of impending doom, a racing heart, sweating, feeling exhausted, and not being able to focus, even when you haven't been drinking. The signs for AUD, on the other hand, are a bit more behavioral. We're talking about things like having a really powerful urge to drink, needing more and more alcohol to get the same feeling, seeing it interfere with your work or home life, and maybe even skipping things you used to love doing just so you can drink instead. But here's the really good news. Both of these conditions are absolutely treatable. As you can see here, there are a lot of tools in the toolbox. Treatment can start with lifestyle changes like exercise or joining a support group. It very often involves therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy. And in some cases, it can include specific medications for each condition. What's really crucial is that the best plans often tackle both problems at the very same time. And that brings us to our final section, finding your balance. Because despite how overwhelming this whole cycle can feel, I want to be really clear that the outlook for recovery and long-term management is genuinely, truly hopeful. And look, this isn't just wishful thinking. A 2022 survey from Alcoholics Anonymous found that more than a quarter of its members had been sober for over 20 years. 20 years! Long-term recovery isn't just possible, it's a reality for millions of people. And let's remember why breaking the cycle is so important. A 2017 review found that when people cut back on their drinking, it didn't just help their physical health. It led to real, measurable improvements in their anxiety levels, in their self-confidence, and just their overall quality of life. So let's end on a question for you to just think about. Whether this is for you or for someone you care about, what's one small, manageable step you can take today toward finding a healthier balance?